Gather round me, everybody gather round me, while I testify. I feel the winter coming on me, and the topic will be the same. That's what I'm against. If you want to hear my story, then just get cozy. Don't be uptight while I review the attitude of doing right. You got to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum and bring gloom down to that minimum, and have faith, a pandemonium dabble to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, talking about Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What do they do when everything looks so dark? Then they said, you got to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. To illustrate my last remark, talking about Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What do they do when everything looks so dark? Then they said, we better accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Oh, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Don't you ever mess with Mr. In Between. Don't you mess with Mr. In Between. Don't you mess with Mr. In Between.
Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I am Reverend Penni Honey. Thank you for being with us today on our YouTube channel here at Unity of Flagstaff. We appreciate you. We also appreciate your flexibility. I was exposed to COVID this week and did not want to take the risk, and we are following the CDC guidelines, so that means I am in isolation. So you're there and I'm here, and I miss you. We plan to be back regular kind of service next week here at Unity of Flagstaff at 1800 South Milton, Suite 103. We do hope that you'll be able to join us then, and if not there, of course, here on our YouTube channel. I'd like to open now with a little prayer. Unity, of course, is founded on prayer, and know that you can always call 1-800-NOW-PRAY for prayer 24/7. You can contact us here at the center at office@unityofflagstaff.org with a prayer request. We are always available to support you on your spiritual journey. So breathe, won't you? Take a breath with me. We say thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for the opportunity and the technology that brings us together today. We are grateful to be in the presence of and expressing the divine in each other. Thank you, Spirit, for this community. Thank you, Spirit, for the hands that do the good work, the ongoing financial support, and the connection of community here. For this we are grateful, and we see this for all communities coming together today. And so it is, and so we let it be. Thank you, my friends. A couple little announcements, of course. We always have those because there's a lot going on here at Unity of Flagstaff. On Tuesdays, come in and see us at 10:30 a.m. here at the center. Cynthia Hull will be having a meditation and visualization class. Hope that you can join us for that. On Thursday, we'll try it again. We've got Phil Young facilitating our drum circle. Mother Nature has won that battle a couple of times, but we're going to give it another whirl at 7 o'clock this Thursday night. We are this quarter supporting Girls on the Run. That means that 50% of our 10% tithe as a tithing community goes to Girls on the Run. Check that organization out. You can find them on the web, Girls on the Run. We also want to make sure that you get an invitation February 25th to the PA lunch, and those interested in being a PA, platform assistant, of course. It is appreciated, the work that the platform assistants do here, and it is of great support to me for sure. Ever had any questions about that or wonder what that might look like? Join us on February 25th. Thank you. February 25th. It's easier to make mistakes when you're in the room with me. Join us February 25th for that PA lunch. I'll be providing you with vegetarian vegetable soup, and of course we've got some meatball soup for those carnivores, and all are welcome. Just come and check it out. That's right after service on February 25th. And speaking of PAs, that is Trina Goetz today, and we'll be introducing her here in just a moment. And just a special shout out to Trina. She is the one that is helping to put all of this video together and making this possible today. So thank you, Trina. And I have one more ask. Do you remember our friend the monk? He was with us on Easter a couple years ago. He's going to be back here in town. He's going to be with us in March. He arrives on the 2nd and leaves on the 8th. And we are looking for accommodations for Brian. We will provide food. I love to cook and bring food to your home if you're willing to host one of our guest speakers. A big shout out to Bruce and Bonnie Higgins, who hosted both Michael Mandel and Brian Kurtz when they were in town here recently. So thank you for that. Would you like to support the community that way? Just reach out to me at revpennyhoney@gmail.com. Let me know. That's Brian, our friend the monk. He'll be here, and that's March 2nd through the 8th. If you can only do a few of those or a couple of those nights, that's fine too. So thank you for that. All right, my friends, now I bring to you Trina Goetz.
Good morning. I'm Trina Goetz, and I'm your platform assistant today. And this is your inspirational message. From January 11th, 1996, I am in the zone with God. Have you ever watched a sporting event in which an athlete or team could seem to do no wrong? Every move, every play seemed to flow naturally and without effort. Into the game, with every fiber of their being, these athletes are playing in the zone. They become one with each other and one with the sport. And wouldn't it feel great to be in the zone every time we have a decision to make, or any time we have something of significance to do? We can be in the zone 24 hours a day when we tune out distractions and tune in to God. We tune in to God by stilling our thoughts and listening to divine coaching. In the sweet silence of prayer, we become aware of a feeling of peace and total well-being. We are in the zone with God. And from Colossians chapter 1, verse 27, Christ in you, the hope of glory. And our unity principle number 3, thoughts, words have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. Or the short version, if you think it and say it, your life will play it. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Breathing deeply in and out, feeling your body relaxing and releasing any tension or stress. Just relax. Breathing deeply in and out, taking your attention down to just below your belly button. Breathe into that space, feeling an expansion there. Let the energy that is there expand as you breathe deeply into this space. Feel that energy expanding outward and moving up into the center of your heart. Breathing deeply into this heart space, in and out. Seeing that energy in the center of your heart growing, expanding. Seeing that energy moving up into the center of your head. Breathing deeply in and out. See that energy in below your belly button expanding up through your heart, through the center of your head, connecting, expanding together. Turning around and facing inward, Facing in now, breathing deeply in and out. Seeing that connection of the energy between the space below your belly button, your heart, and in the center of your head. Feeling yourself observing the connection and watching as the energy expands. Now we're going to tell the story of your flow, of your allowing, of your releasing resistance. I want you to see yourself walking to the edge of a beautiful river. There are large trees all around. You can feel the power, the groundedness of the trees. It's a beautiful day. The sky is so blue, with just the right amount of passing white puffy clouds to feel the softness of the sun. You watch yourself as your face points towards the sky, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face. You breathe it in. You then look to the river. It's a smooth flowing river. It's steady and gentle. You notice that it isn't water. It's like solid light, like matter, but it flows like water does, softly moving over rocks and other things that may be in its way, not forcefully, just gently gliding over and around things like nothing matters and nothing compares to this flow and persistent stream of this river. Talking in the first person now so you can really feel it. I take my shoes off. I feel the earth and walk slowly down to the edge of the river. I can feel the small round rocks under my feet. I feel a gentle foot massage. My first foot goes into the energy that is similar to water. It feels like the perfect temperature for me, perfectly comfortable. I can feel a soft breeze around my body as I slowly merge into the energy river. I lay slowly back. My ears go under the river. I can hear my heart beating and my breathing really clearly. I slow my breathing down as I become aware of it, in and out. I feel my arms stretch out and release my hands, opening my hands, feeling my heart and my whole body is open as my feet gently lift and my legs begin to float. I feel completely supported by this river. It is holding me. I feel safe. I can hear my heart beating and hear my breathing slow as I relax into it. I am moving now. The river is taking me. With such support and gentleness, the river is guiding me. I feel at ease. I feel relaxed. I know that if I start to feel fearful, I just listen to the sound of my breathing, my heart beating, and I trust the process of unfolding. I know that if I struggle or fight the current, I will not be flowing with the river, so I let go. My arms are out and my hands are open. It feels like a huge lesson in trust for me. I can do it. I can let go, and I can trust. I know this is my river. There is nothing around that can hurt me as long as I can relax and let go. I allow the river to take me. It will look after me. It will carry me to all the right places at the right time. This is my river. This is my river. I am in the flow of my life river. I have and continue to create this river with my thoughts and feelings. It is energy, as am I. I know that if I keep my thoughts and feelings plugged into love and trust, the river will look after me. It will guide me. It will protect me. It will get me to exactly where I want and need to go. I let go. I float. I trust. This is my river. This is my river of life. I am in the flow of my river. I let go. I listen to the sound of my breathing and my heart beating. Everything is okay. I relax. I close my eyes and relax. I remember this feeling of being in the flow as my body gently floats to the edge of the riverbank. I can see I am in a new place now. Being in the flow of my river of life has helped me to move to a new place where there will be new discoveries and new opportunities. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or confused, I can walk down to the river and let it carry me. Breathing deeply in and out.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way.
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 Get out of the way and let God do His thing.
You look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a few breaths and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what is if you wanted to. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do His thing. The sun's gonna rise and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, then dig it up to see if it's growing.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do His thing.
Last time, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do His thing. Get in the zone, the in zone. Just a little tap of the helmet to Super Bowl Sunday. Go Chiefs. Oh, was that my inside voice? For the purpose of our conversation today, the zone and the word flow will be used interchangeably. Have you ever wondered where that term, being in the zone, came from? Well, believe it or not, there was an award-winning television series called The Twilight Zone, which ran from 59 to 64. Some of you may know it. And it featured supernatural and science fictional plot elements. And it was basically the underpinnings of In the Zone, the Twilight Zone. And it suggested magical and mystical superhuman powers that they could acquire for a temporary time. So fast forward a few years, in 1974, there was a tennis player by the name of Arthur Ashe. And he likened his success and the experience he had as he was playing tennis as being in the zone. Now, the word flow was coined much earlier in the 60s, and it's been studied at great depth since then. There was a creative expert psychologist by the name of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Now, we're going to call him Dr. C going forward. He became so fascinated with the fact that so many artists would lose track of time. They would talk about losing track of time. They would forget to eat. They would miss appointments. They would be in the zone. Dr. C, however, called it the flow. The flow is a state of supreme focus, and it helps athletes and artists and everyday people to work at their peak potential. It's when your mind fully connects with achieving a goal, such as getting a hit, stealing a base, making a touchdown, creating amazing artwork. The attention is absorbed into the present moment so much, into the here and now, that everything else fades away. When you're in the zone, your mind only processes the thoughts and the images that help you execute your task successfully. Wow, does that seem like that might be useful in life? Think about that. Your mind actually shuts everything off except what it takes to execute your task successfully. It is a coveted and sought after frame of mind for athletes. Michael Jordan shared that if he works at it too hard, he misses the window of the zone. He misses the flow. It is a cognitive state where one is completely immersed in activity. When you're in the zone, the fear of failure, worry, doubt, indecision, all those mental traps, they're forbidden from entering into your focus because the brain is focusing strictly on what it takes to succeed at the task you've undertaken. As I said, many athletes see it as a very magical place. But Dr. C tends to believe that the flow, the zone, is simply a mental state of total involvement, and it's really about being in the present moment. Flow is the joy of doing something for the sake of doing it. It's a state which people are so involved that nothing seems to matter. And it makes sense that we want to be in this flow, in the zone, because it gives us feelings of success and pride and accomplishment, dumps all kinds of endorphins in our bodies, and makes us feel really good. And even though the joy is not the forefront or the intention of completing the task, it is that sense of joy that is experienced by being immersed in what we're doing. Now, according to Dr. C, he says that the way to achieve the zone or the flow, and there have been many sports psychologists, there are a lot of opinions about this, but what he had to say really resonated with me as to the way to achieve being in the zone. They set their mind to something. They look forward to something that they desire or want. That's the first step of being in the zone, of experiencing the flow of life. And they come at it from a balanced perspective. Not too excited, not too not excited. balanced. And they gather knowledge about what it is that they're trying to accomplish. That comes in the form of practice and work and being present. And learning to assess and accept the situation as it is. And to be in the now moment, to be in the right here, right now. Dr. C emphasizes that flow triggers only happen in the now. It's a balance between challenges and skills. The zone is where there's no agony over failure. The flow is when we've released all self-consciousness and distractions, and we've moved into a sense of timelessness. It's a great example of being in the zone. Let me take you back to a Super Bowl Sunday. It's 1972, and the Steelers are playing Oakland. Now, Oakland is down. And the Steelers quarterback, you might recognize this name, Terry Bradshaw, threw a pass to John Fuqua. And it was deflected backwards. And Franco Harris of Oakland snatched the ball off the ground before it had the chance to be downed. It bounced off of another player. Harris caught the ball inches before it hits the turf, and he runs 40 yards for the winning touchdown. Now that's being in the zone. This play has become one of the greatest NFL plays in history of the NFL. He received numerous awards, including Offensive Rookie of the Year and Super Bowl MVP. Now, how did that happen? More than 50 years after that event, people are still trying to figure out how that happened. So let's look at it. Do you think Harris was in the zone? He went to that game certainly with an intention of leaving with a Super Bowl ring. That certainly was on his mind as he set his mind on something. He had worked and learned. He knew how to catch. He knew how to run, and he knew how to score. He already had those skills. And so he assessed the situation as Terry Bradshaw is passing the ball. And he realized his team was down. He realized this is where they're at, but he wasn't there to give up. He was there for that Super Bowl ring. And he got into the moment. I'm guessing he was pretty present to the fact when that ball popped off the front of that guy's body and was headed to be downed, he had to definitely be in the now moment. It's a great example of being in the zone. It's really easy, isn't it, to know when you're in the zone? You feel the strength of it, and you start to look for the win because you're so consumed by what it is that you're focused on. And I'll tell you this, if Harris was over there mulling over the last loss, or the last time he fumbled a ball, or the last time he didn't make connection, he certainly would not have been available to make that play. And the more you do it, the more you realize it. And that is true for both the realizing this is the situation we're in, this is what I desire, I am moving toward that, I am in the zone. The more you do that, the more you do that. And the more you think about what didn't happen before and allow that to cloud what's happening in the now moment, the more you do that. Robert Pirsig's popular work, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, he says this: when you're not dominated by feelings of separateness from what you're working on, when you care about what you're doing, that is when your mind becomes a perfect reflection of the concrete situation you are in. That is when you enter the zone. The sense of fluidity between your body and your mind. You're totally absorbed. To do what you love What lights you up? Find that and start moving toward that. Keep signing up for things that give you that intrinsic sense that all your beta and theta waves are all lining up. Now, does that mean that it's going to make it easier? Or it's going to make everything easy? No. In fact, anytime that you reach a moment of peak enjoyment, when you're doing something that is difficult, that's a sure sign that you're in the zone, that you're in the flow of life. We don't notice distractions. We don't notice the things around us because we are so focused on what our desire is, on what it is that we came there to do, what we came here to do. Now, some say that spiritual flow is different. And they say it's different because spiritual flow deals with the holy or the sacred. Well, really? I'll tell you what, talk to any of those players on either one of those teams today, and they'll tell you the sacredness of that game, of that Super Bowl. Whatever each individual intention was, they are arriving with that intention, with that desire today, and that's to go home with a Super Bowl ring. And the underlying meanings and the underlying thoughts of that each individual holds: I want to make my family proud. I want to succeed at what I've started. Whatever those are the sacred thoughts. That's why spiritual flow and being in the spiritual zone is not any different than that of what we experience with athletes. You want to know how sacred that game is today? 112.2 million people will throw a Super Bowl party today. Do you realize that the total spending on food and drinks today alone is $86 per person in the United States for a whopping $17.3 billion? And you too can be with 72,000 of your closest friends in that $2 billion Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Somebody thinks it's sacred. Somebody has given it value. A collective somebody. So the spiritual zone and the spiritual flow are no different than that of athletes, of performers, of artists. The spirituality zone where you are aligned with and you know the benefits of that. And what if I told you you're already there? Eric Butterworth says the whole universe is concentrated at the point where you are. You are the universe expressing as you. It stands behind you with its full resources. Boy, that'll make you feel brave. That'll put you in the zone, won't it? Lao Tzu said this: the human spirit has its source in the divine fountain, which must be permitted to flow freely through humans. The flow, the zone. You're already there. You're in the in zone. So let's live like that. Let's claim our purpose. Let's set our mind on something. Let's take the first step to being in the flow. Let's look at our lives and check it out for balance, work, play, laughter, joy, reflection, grieving. Let's work at knowing what it is that we want and knowing about what it is that we want. And dig deep into those spiritual and those places within us that really remind us of the divine truth of who we are. Let's get to know about that. And then assess and accept the situation that we are in. And be in the now moment. And look for the win. You're already there. You're in the zone. The flow is what you are and where you are at. We've had some great examples of what it looks like for humans to live in the zone. I can think of one, Jesus. I can think of another, Muhammad and the water. And how about my Grandma Maine and her ability to turn a sad moment into something to be grateful for. You can only do that when you're in the now moment and you're in the flow. It's simply a mental state of total involvement. That's what it is. Eric Butterworth again says this: the free flow of ideas and creativity is our inheritance as divine children. I'm going to say that again. The free flow of ideas and creativity is our inheritance as divine beings. You can dip into the flow anytime. As fast as you can snap your fingers, the answer can come. If you allow yourself to remember that you're in the flow, that you're in the in zone, that internal spiritual search and place of depth and expression, as fast as you can snap your fingers, the answer can come. In fact, I encourage you the next time that you're trying to come up with a thought or an idea or create or a solution to something that just seems insurmountable. And we have them in life, don't we? Just a light snap to remind yourself that you're in the flow. You're in the zone. This is the zone. And Eric Butterworth says this also: there is a flow of harmony and love and light and life and substance everywhere. You are that flow, whether you're aware of it or not, and you may even be agitating it or frustrated by it. But you are that flow. Be here now, remember? You're always in the flow, and it's always in you. You may not know how or why you lose the consciousness of the flow or being in the zone, but one thing you can be sure of: if you are experiencing problems, if you have run up against a block, you are out of the consciousness of the flow. Because it is in the flow that you find solution and healing and comfort. And the flow is constant. Your prayer is not to generate the flow, but to acknowledge it and to get your thoughts synchronized with it. It's already there. Take a few minutes before you arise in the morning to get yourself synchronized in the consciousness with the flow of life. Try this. Eyes open. I am the flow of life, and I move easily with the flow of life. I am the flow of life, and I move easily with the flow of life. When you're consciously in the flow, you know that things and spirit experiences come to pass, that these are temporary conditions. We deny the permanence of those conditions when we are in the flow. And in the flow of life, all that is limiting or dark will wash away. Hold things lightly and be courageous, be brave. Get it in your head that you are in the flow. Feel it in your body. Know it in your soul. There's no need to rehearse problems or to feel sorry for yourself or to think that this is going to last forever, be it good or bad. Be in the flow. Get in the zone, in the end zone. Happiness, as Eric Butterworth reminds us, is not in savoring things, but it's in knowing that you are in the flow of life. You're on the winning side. Being in the zone is our natural state. And as Steve and Trina reminded us, get out of the way. And now Trina and Steve will remind us about being brave and how we can step into and recognize the flow and be in the zone, setting our minds, staying balanced, working toward what we want, assessing and accepting, being in the now moment and looking for the win. Just to paraphrase Rumi, there is a place. I will meet you there. See ya in the zone. Namaste.
What could I achieve, trusting the hero in me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave?
What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you do if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of the seed, there are miracles in you and me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, would the voice of courage whisper in my ear? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? We are so brave.
Thank you, Steve and Trina. We appreciate you in this community. We appreciate all that you bring, your talent, your skill, and above all, your light. Thanks for bringing the music. And thank you all that support this community in making live music like this possible. We appreciate your ongoing support of this community. Please go to www.unityofflagstaff.org, hit that donate button, and send us a little gift, won't you? We appreciate you, and we appreciate you showing your appreciation in that manner. We also have opportunities for volunteering and, of course, ways to support Sunday morning celebrations. Go to our website, www.unityofflagstaff.org, and check that out, all of those things. And again, we want to remind you that next week is Sweet Treat Week. It was supposed to be today, but obviously we couldn't do that. So bring those sweet treats for our auctions as a fundraiser here at Unity of Flagstaff next Sunday. We appreciate your participation in that, and of course, again, the ongoing support. So show us your love. Bring us a little Valentine We're willing to receive. We are in the zone. So thank you again. And you could also, if you're not comfortable donating online, drop a check in the mail to P.O. Box 1740. That is Flagstaff 86002. Again, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday. It'll be myself delivering the message, and we'll have Ryan Biter with music. We look forward to seeing you then. Now, won't you settle in and join us for the prayer of protection? Join us, won't you? The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is. Create an amazing week. Happy Valentine's Day, and go Chiefs.